Hi, I'm Liz Kinnane from Mott and Chace Sotheby's International Real Estate, and I'm here with David Andreozzi, who is an architect who designed the house behind us, and he's been designing coastal homes for well over 30 years.
I'm really honored to have been invited to come back to this house and to be part of it as it finds a new home and a new owner.
Right, beautiful property.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to hear your inspiration and how it all unfolded.
Well, let's start, and we'll take a walk down, and I'll tell you a little bit about how it all started between us and the landscape architect.
Okay, great.
So it starts with designing something that's going to be traditional and respective of its neighbors. And so that's really the first thing. And so we're going with a sort of a New England coastal shingle style architecture that's traditional. But there's some things playing on you immediately. We've got some axes. The front axis that goes straight and is very formal is the first thing that you see. But in reality, there's another axis that goes under the pergola, and that is actually the axis that's continuing to the backyard that will be the room in the back. So combining the two of these things really was the impetus of where the original design came from. So it's combining architecture and landscape architecture. And as soon as the sketches begin, we're working with the landscape architect. In this case, it was Kate Field, who we worked with 30 years ago, and we're starting to overlay these spaces, these rooms inside and out throughout the house. And so what you see as you approach the front door, again, very traditional, very formal, is that there's actually an angle on the door, which is odd. It's different, right, for a traditional house. Thank you. And that angle is actually portrayed all the way through the house as a slice as it relates to the monitor on the top of the roof and the pergola that will bring you out to the garage and the guest house. So in a way, it's almost like a playful gesture, like you would expect in a summer house, like something informal, yet set within sort of a respectful front facade or front elevation.
Right. No, it captures both. It really does.
So we designed a custom pergola here that connects there's a guest cottage and a garage and a back door. We have some rose trellises. These are actually reproduced from trellises on the breakers.
I love these.
Yep, we went out and measured and molded and had them sort of reproduced.
I'm glad I know that,
Yeah,
because I've admired them, so it's nice to know the history. So David, I was wondering if you could expand a little bit about the chimney and the material you chose.
So traditionally, New England architecture relies on the chimney. They relied on the chimney for hundreds of years for food, for heat, for stability. And so we've always looked at that as an object, something beautiful to sort of create a defining moment in the project. And in this case, we're using a very old brick. It's still available. They're sand molded bricks as opposed to wire molded, and they're just made by pressing into sand, and every brick is a little different in the process as opposed to it being perfect. And it's giving you a little bit of a pillowing effect as the shade and the shadow hits it. We're also using a colored mortar, and then we're sort of using the Victorian beautiful shade and shadow of the cuts in it to give you that sort of depth that like is making it punch. And so it's definitely a fun part of the composition in combination with the monitor and the cupola. On the left, we have a cupola, and which would bring light down below. And on the right, we have a larger monitor, and it's like a ship's monitor, which means that we're going to be able to get up there and look out of the monitor and see the ocean beyond. And really, that is the way that we'll walk up the house. It's all a path or a journey to get up to there.
The top, right.
It's supposed to be fun and playful.
And it is.
So we start at the front portico, which is a traditional Greek architecture, which is totally complementary with New England architecture. So you're coming in this formal entryway, all on axes, but now we have this angle, and it's odd in a fun way, like who would do that? But in reality, it's everything we talked about. It's the rotation of these angles that are gonna occur all the way through the house, and it starts with the stairway that breaks through on this angle and is bringing you to the second floor. The woodwork, meaning the stairway and the columns, are all cherry. They're inspired by traditional New England, say, boat building. I mean, this could be, I'm thinking about a bowsprit when we design that. And everything around you is meant to be connecting you to history and culture. the same spirit upon which we designed this foyer, we've connected in this open way to this completely modern and angular dining room. And we're, again, using the same spirit. On the outside, you have the traditional windows with the little 4 squares. And then building upon that, we actually have a custom dining room set that was inspired by that. So this was made by Adriance Furniture here locally. We designed the legs ourselves with them, and we took one of their designs and we chose the woods so that they would all match and be respective of New England history, and all sort of relate in context to everything around it. So we're still on that same main axis, going directly through the house, and it's heading toward what's going to be the inside family room. So as you're coming through on axis, but then we have the powder room. Now you have to come in and take a look in the powder room. It's just this beautiful little wainscoting, just a little spiritual moment to celebrate the water and the sand and the ocean. Outside is our back door that we talked about, which is the pergola that crosses, so that's your informal entryway. But now you're getting to what is the center of a modern house, which is the great room. So it's a combination of this big, beautiful family room and connection right over to the breakfast room and the kitchen, all open and airy and connected. So this built-in is actually inspired on the owner's Providence home, where they have a lot of built-ins and woodwork and library and feel. And so how can we get something to sort of mimic that or reproduce it in sort of a light, airy, New England sort of way? And so we're using handmade tiles, we're using custom stained glass that we designed and is made by an amazing artist named Chris Foster. I love the concept of bringing a bunch of local craftsmen together and doing something that's truly your own. So part of the great room is the kitchen and the breakfast area. I mean, today, in today's world, the open great room is really where it all happens. All the additional formal dining rooms and all these libraries, and they're all secondary. And today, we really only need this. This is where we are all the time.
The heart of the home.
It's part of the home.
Yeah.
And we're using cherry, handmade cabinets by a local mill worker. We're using traditional soapstone counters. I always try and use custom cabinets. It doesn't happen on every job, but I feel like it's a better quality product at the end. And that's only half. The more important thing is that you're hiring a local craftsman to build them. And in this case, it was John White. He built it for me 30 years ago. He built this amazing job. And if you have a problem with him, you call him up and he just shows up and he tweaks the door or replaces something that you hit by accident, and it's fixed, and you're supporting people locally. And we also use a lot of, we mentioned stained glass a bunch of times. We have the glass up there, and that's one of my favorites, which is a German Remy glass. You'll see it a lot all over the house. You'll see it. It's just one of my favorite glasses. It's made by imported by Bentheim. We're looking at the kitchen now, and just off the kitchen we have this amazing porch and patio. It was designed by the landscape architect. I mean, just look at this beautiful workmanship and the wonderful design. And I feel like it's the perfect size. Looking up at that balcony, that entire curved metal hand railing was done by a craftsman, George Martell. He also did other work throughout the house. He did the rose trellis, and he also did a fireplace screen. And it's just the waves and the sun, and it's New England.
Tell me about the shingles on the top peak.
So it's a fish scale design, and the shingle style is traditionally always encouraging different shapes. So sometimes they're waves, and sometimes they're diamonds, and in this case they're fish scales. And in this case we did them only in the gables and went with standard shingles below. But again, it's about informality and fun.
Right. The details just go on and on. I keep noticing things that I've never seen before.
So now we're coming up this fun and angled stairway, and we're getting to the second floor. And the second floor, we jump back on this axis that's running through the house, and we're heading out to the primary suite. primary suite faces out again to that wonderful nature room in the back, and it's again lined with custom built-ins and custom stained glass. So next, let's go back into the primary suite's bathroom. I mean, what's more perfect for a summer house? You still have your individuality on both sides, and then from there into the actual bathroom itself with this wonderful little window seat with a view to the world. And I feel like you're in the front of a boat. And you have a sink on either side, again, individual, and then peeking through, all completely open into sort of an informal but modern bathroom. So as we proceed to the third floor, it's made up of this little sitting room where you can, there's a bed, small day bed, and a combination office play area with that beautiful handrail that we talked about before, and this circular staircase that we're going to go up in a second, which is going to bring you on top of the roof into the monitor. So now this is what we've all been waiting for. You take the ship-like handrail, and now we get on the ship-like stairway. And up we go, above the roof. Westport is just such a beautiful area, beautiful community, the ruralness of it compared to a lot of other areas.
Right.
It's just a very special place to live.
David, thank you so much for coming today. I really appreciate it, and I learned so many neat details that I didn't know before, and you answered so many questions that I've had and people that have looked at it have had.
Thank you for inviting me. It's so nice to come back after 30 and 25 years and come back and just be part of it again. And also, I mean, the thing that we share together is our patron.
Right.
She's an amazing person, and I don't know, she becomes part of your family very, very quickly. So thank you again.
Well, thank you.